Why must it be? Through nature's tragedy, we find unity when we come together. Racism, we feel shame. No one wants to take the blame. Through the fire, we all will hang. With love, we can change when we all come together.
WLTH. This is AM 1370 Sound Off with E.V.E. And I want to give a shout out to somebody that I meant to call this morning, but I was actually had to run back in, and then I was laughing at you guys this morning. The morning breakfast club. You guys got me going on every morning. I listen to what you guys are saying, but there's something special that I heard this morning. Everybody calling in, and all these calls were flowing in, so I'm just going to be one more shout out to Latrice. I want to say happy birthday to you, girlfriend. How many young years we are? 25, 15? You know, you can't be, younger than me. We're about 15, 20, somewhere around there. So happy birthday, Latrice. May God bless you with many, many more, because you're looking good, looking young, and hopefully you are enjoying today's date, because it's a beautiful day. This is your day. So I just needed to say that, because I wasn't able to chime in this morning to call and wish her a happy birthday. So I'm actually telling you right now here on WLTH Radio. This is AM 1370, the Region's Choice. And, of course, the views expressed by the callers and the hosts are not necessarily the views of WLTH Radio management, owner, and sponsors. And, of course, the number to call in here is 219-885-1371. That's 885-1371. Thanks, Toya. And it's a beautiful day out there. Almost sounded like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. A beautiful day. For what, Nat? Do you remember that song? Do you remember that song? No. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? Yeah, but it says it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. Doesn't he say that? In this neighborhood. A beautiful day is... Won't you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? But you know what? Since I just mentioned, won't you be my neighbor, I think we should all treat each other as if we were true, actual neighbors. You agree with me, Nat?
Totally.
I think, well, I don't think, I know that if we were to all treat each other like neighbors, well, neighbors that we care about each other, because there's neighbors that we don't even talk. We don't even know who they are. I've been living in my same block for quite some time, and the one time that I got to meet all my neighbors is because I did my walking to get my signatures, because I was running for school board a couple years ago, and I got to meet everyone that I went door to door, and that was the only time I got to meet all my neighbors in that block. Sad, isn't it? But you see, I'm always running, so very few times you'll get to see me sit out there. So if we were all to just treat each other with respect and love each other and do for each other, because instead of saying what's in it for me, let's say what's in it for you. And if we were all to always think that way, change our mindset and the mentality of what's in it for you, I think we all get something. Eventually, there's something in it for all of us. Just that mindset, I believe, should change. And my condolences to every parent that has lost a loved one with all this nonsense that's going on in Chicago, with all this nonsense that's going out here in Northwest Indiana. It's no longer just Gary like it used to be. It's always reported that Gary is the capital murders, the city of the country, the worst crimes, the more killings. Well, that's not what's happening lately. It's actually now switched to Chicago, and that's sad. And I have families that are calling me, mothers that are calling me, and they're all devastated. Now the feds are coming in Chicago to help, to assist. But you know, just yesterday in Griffith, Indiana, someone lost their life at St. Mary's parking lot school. And that's, you know what, I just got to tell you guys, the devil is out there and it's busy as ever. It's busy having a good time, getting you guys to react and do what exactly he wants you to do. And that's hurting others, hurting your loved ones, and then hurting yourself. That's kind of crazy. So I get a call today from Chicago. We're doing the no justice, no peace, and the moms that have called in previously, there's a lot more people coming out and saying that they don't know who shot their child, and they're trying to fight for justice. They're trying to find who did it. So Chicago is going to join in a vigil, in a protest, in a march, and us Hoosiers in Indiana, Northwest Indiana, we also got to come together, because we too have a group of parents out here that are crying out for justice. Just 7 hours, how many shootings were out in Chicago reported? Crazy. It's just completely crazy. So we all need to come together and do something. Because if the police or the law enforcement isn't enough to stop it, then what do you guys suggest should be done? Should the families all come together of everyone that's lost someone and seek for answers when all they're getting is, we're working on your case. We're working on your case. At least that's what these mothers have told me from Chicago, and some out here in Northwest Indiana from East Chicago, from the harbor, that's lost their loved one, that got shot and killed, cold-blooded. Just yesterday, there was police activity on Maryland Street between 5th and 6th, between my parents' home. Someone dropped a weapon between both homes, broad daylight. That's too close for comfort. That's too close to my loved ones. Even if they were not my loved ones, that is too close.
Good afternoon, Eve. How are
yes,
you?
baby, how you doing?
I just need to break in and make one announcement.
Yes, please, by all means.
Because we announced to individuals that we will be going over to IUN. There was a scheduling change, so that will not be going forward. Instead, they will get your show. So I just wanted people who may have been tuning in for the candidate debate or forum.
That's right, that's
right.
right.
It would not be going forward at IUN, so we won't be covered. We don't have anything to cover.
Yes, we don't, and thank you. I didn't know if you were putting it out there. Thank you. You're absolutely correct. David had actually let us know that they were not going to have it. So if anyone was on their way to IUN, we are not covering it. So this happened this last minute, and we will be covering actually the main election come November. So I know that there's a lot of events going on everywhere, all these campaign parties, fundraisers and whatnot, but you know, everyone is doing their due diligence. They want your vote. They're going to do whatever they have to do to get your vote. But let's see who steps out in the community and makes a change, because one person can make a change. And let me tell you that what happened in Griffith, I feel so bad for the youth, for their children. Community mourns slain woman. A day after a woman was shot to death by her estranged husband in the parking lot of St. Mary's School, the community called for an end to domestic violence. We can all call to an end for domestic violence all we want, but the people that can actually enforce and stop it, they're the ones that have to step up to the plate, and we'll be right there next to them. Last night, prayer vigil for Nina Castro was led by Pepe Flores, a youth minister at St. Mary's Church, who urges those in the crowd to seek help if they are in an abusive relationship. We can't let this happen again, Flores said. Just feet away from the vigil is where Castro, 42 years old, was picking up her son Monday at St. Mary's School in Griffith when she was shot to death by her estranged husband, police said. That was Remenard Castro, of 55, fled the scene on a motorcycle. He was confronted by Gary officers outside his garage in the 600 block of Roosevelt Street. Castro shot himself after officers ordered him to drop his weapon, police said, and of course, cowardly, died at the scene. Nina Castro's son helped the school with an afternoon religious program. Her teenage daughter was also with her during the time of the shooting. More than 50 parishioners from St. Mary's Church and Nina Castro's colleagues gathered around the church's statue of Mary. Dr. Kimberly Arthur worked with Castro at St. Catherine's Hospital and was one of her doctors. She told the crowd she can't recall asking Castro about domestic violence, but pledged to be more vigilant with her patients. She never looked sad, Arthur said. She was a warm, loving spirit. Deshanna Alexander of Maryville was friends with Nina Castro and credits her for motivating her to go back to school. A tearful Alexander told the crowd to keep Nina Castro's children in her prayers. She said her friend would be grateful for their support. Overwhelmed with emotion, Alexander stepped away from the front of the crowd and hugged Arthur. After the vigil, Alexander said she last spoke to Nina Castro on April 16th when the two joked about Vera Bradley's bags. Alexander said she knew her friend was going through problems with her estranged husband, but Nina Castro never dwelled on unhappy times. She was just happy helping others and maintaining her family, Alexander said. She was content with that. She was just sweet, a big heart, willing to help anyone in need. Can you just imagine what her kids are feeling now? To it happen right there next to them? That's cold-blooded murder. I'm sorry, but that man was not right at all with his heart or his mind. To do that cold-blooded in front of his children, or her children, not know if they were his children too. But that's devastation, that those children have been marked and scarred for the rest of their life. Can you imagine something like that, Toya? Can you imagine that? I can't fathom the thought as to what was running through his head. Mm-hmm. Or maybe nothing but rage was running through his head and blinded him.
Yeah.
It just got the chills. That's horrific. And for all these shootings happening in Chicago as well, we are coming together. And we're planning this with a couple of ministers and church leaders from Chicago and Indiana, that we must all march together, because the more prayer, the more powerful this message will be sent through to all these politicians, leaders. They say leaders that be. I say some of them are leaders of wannabe, because if they were true leaders, they'd have a heart, and they worked with the community. That's us, the community, and to getting some peace out here and to lowering all this crime, all this violence that's going on. It's crazy. It's under control, they say. No, that's what Mayor Rahm Emanuel had just said that crime was lowering, it was decreasing. When 7 hours after that, the shooting happened. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air here on WLTH.
Good. Buenos dias, mi amiga. I should say buenas tardes.
Sí. Buenas tardes. ¿Cómo está?
Yeah. You know what I was thinking, and I said this for some time. I think we need a mobile unit, and a lot of times I say mobile because I want children. I'm stressing the two-syllable. I want them to think of bile, cow, and things like that. But the reason why I called you is I've often felt that we need a mobile unit to drive around at all times of the day, so that people that are troubled could get on that vehicle. They could get counseling. They could talk through their problems and get a chance to do critical thinking. Because a lot of times these people are so disturbed and they may resort to picking up a weapon, taking some drugs or something to hype themselves up and think that's going to relax them.
Right.
But when you think about it, he destroyed, the ending of something is the beginning of something new. People get remarried all the time. They build new relationships, and they would have been alive to go seek out somebody else, but they'd have the love of their children.
Exactly.
And they would be alive. So a lot of times I think people are so distressed that they think that the only thing they need to do is pick up a weapon and fire it at somebody
and that's
that
the
they
solution.
think has troubled them. But you know, it takes two people to build a relationship. And so sometimes people need to sit down and talk, and if you can't talk, then separate. But you should do it in an amicable way, don't you think?
Most definitely. I totally agree with you,
And
Ms.
so
Nadine.
that's why I said maybe if we had a unit that was sort of, how can I say, it would move around. It would be available to people in the daytime as well as night. You would have counseling on it. You could have pool tables, things that common music. Because like I was telling you, sometimes in a doctor's office when I go and I have to sit a few minutes to wait to be attended to, I love listening to music. Or if you look at news sometime, it's sort of depressing when you see people solve their problems one way. But if you could sit and think and close your eyes or meditate and go out into the, I love being outdoors. And people know that I think I've stressed it enough. I love sports, too. I like to do things that I think take me out of my own element. And I heard you talking about your neighbors. I went out to empty my garbage because I had made a salmon loaf to go with my soup today. And I met two of the prettiest little girls. They were 5-year-old, identical twins, and Destiny and Daphne. Just talking to them today. You know, how in the world can you hurt the parent of one of your own children? When you look in those little children's faces, and they were with their grandmother, and I talked with them, and one of them told me that I tried to spell each one of them's name, and each one of them ended up with an E.V.E. And honey, they knew, they were so mature, but they were so open-minded and pure. And when you look at little bitty kids, or little bitty children, when you look at them and see so much joy and happiness on their face, how can you take that kind of joy away from them? If you truly love them,
Ms. Nadine,
how can
what you
take
see,
yourself or their mother away from them?
Exactly. And what you see, Ms. Nadine, you see it with a heart. See, and
you
that's
sure
the missing.
do.
That's the missing ingredient with these individuals. They don't have the heart. Some
down
the road they lost
You know
it.
what? And he did it in the presence of his own children. How could you do that?
That's someone that was demented, that was not right in the mind.
That's what I said. So sometimes I think if these people could just get away from it, go away sometimes, and come and get in tune with the elements of nature and see things a little bit differently, because the greatest thing of all is to love somebody and to be loved. And my God, he destroyed all of that.
And then he took
I'm getting too emotional. I need to get off the phone. I'm getting too emotional.
Join me in prayer, Ms. Nadine.
Bye-bye.
Join me in prayer. Thank you. It's horrific. And then a 7-year-old girl among 2 wounded in Hammond. There was a Hammond shooting as well this week. A 7-year-old girl and a 38-year-old woman were wounded in a shooting Saturday night while attending a family gathering, police said. The shooting happened at 9:30 about that time in 6400 block of Monroe Street. Too close for comfort, okay? Said Lieutenant Richard Hoyda of the Hammond Police Department. Hoyda said most of the family was outside in the home's backyard when shots were fired at the group. A 7-year-old was shot in the arm and taken to Franciscan St. Margaret Health Hospital in Hammond, Hoyda said. Her injury was not life-threatening. A 38-year-old woman had a grazed wound and declined to seek medical treatment. It was unclear Sunday what led the shooting. People were seen leaving the area on foot, but police weren't sure if the group had anything to do with the shooting. No one was in police custody at a Sunday night. Anyone with information about the shooting is asked to call Hammond Police Sergeant John Suarez at 219-852-2981. That's 852-2981. I mean, is it like daily, or is it just me that I'm reading about somebody is shooting somebody somewhere out here? It's crazy. Crazy bad. And this is something that I don't like to talk about because it's negative. But let's talk about the positive. What are we going to do about it? Chicago has come up and asked me, Eve, can you help us? We're going to put the pressure on our mayor, Mayor Rahm Emanuel. We're going to do a march, peaceful march. I said, I'm all for it. Let's talk about it. Let's bring them on. Parents want to speak out. Parents want you to hear their story as to they lost their child, but yet no answer as to who did it. Year after year, and they're still waiting for some type of justice. What's wrong right now? What's been going on that it cannot be controlled? Because for all we know right now, it's out of control. And we have some parents, some mothers out here in East Chicago, in Harbor, in Hammond, in Gary, that are out there crying for justice, for peace. All these parents are going to come together. They're going to come to WLTH radio. They want you, the politician, the law enforcement, to hear their cry. How much more blood has to shed before you can do something about it? You say you are. Rahm Emanuel just said not too long ago the crime was decreasing. One day after Mayor Rahm Emanuel decried the rash of shootings over Easter holiday weekend, 8 people were shot across the city in less than 7 hours. 7 hours, not 7 days. The ages of the victims, 1 teenager and 7 men, range from 14 to 56 years of age. Innocent children that are probably minding their own business on their front step, playing, because kids are supposed to do that. So many people are now afraid for their kids to walk to school, walk home from school, walk to school, or just be playing outside. In the most recent incident, a 23-year-old was wounded about 7:30 evening. That's still somewhat daylight. In the West Englewood neighborhood, Chicago police said he was on a porch, minding his own business probably, 1700 block of West 71st Street, when someone ran out of a gangway and opened fire, striking the man. At 7 p.m., a 56-year-old man was shot in his knee in 1800 block of South Central Park Avenue in North Lawndale neighborhood. 6:40 p.m., a 14-year-old boy was shot in the Chicago Lawn neighborhood on the south side. He was standing on a porch in the 7300 block of South Maplewood Avenue when suspects ran out from across the street and started shooting. At 5:50 p.m., broad daylight, folks, a 29-year-old man was shot in the ankle, 7500 block of South Yale Avenue in the Greater Grand Crossing neighborhood. 5 p.m., a 24-year-old man was shot while sitting on his porch in the 6700 block of South Oakley Avenue in Chicago Lawn neighborhood. 4 p.m., a 23-year-old man was shot in Logan Square neighborhood on the northwest side. He was in a vehicle, 3600 block of West Armitage Avenue, when another vehicle drove up and someone from the inside opened fire. The shooting was thought to be gang-related, according to the police on that one. But about the same time, a 20-year-old man was shot in the ankle and the back, 1600 block of west of 59th Street in West Englewood. The first shooting occurred about 1:10 p.m. in the Roseland neighborhood on the far south side. An 18-year-old man walked into the Roseland Community Hospital with a gunshot wound in his wrist and told the police he had been shot in the 200 block of West 112th Street. No one in custody of any of these shootings. What the heck is going on? Besides, we know the obvious, the devil's loose, having a grand old day. And what I see as posts on Facebook, you're giving him exactly what he wants, or it wants. Rage, anger, profanity, want to hurt somebody, instead of saying, I need to pray. This is what I'm reading on Facebook. Angry relatives, angry neighbors, angry, yes. Maybe talk is easy for me to say and not feel, but you're actually engaging in all that anger, engaging in all that hatred. You're being part of it. So I'm going to ask you, my loyal listeners, to join me in that chain of prayer that I have been doing daily on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, so that we can beat that evil, because it's heavy and it's happening daily. And that devil's hitting in the most precious people, which is our children. We're losing them to crime, to violence, to profanity, to drugs, to gangs, to alcohol. Daily. So what do you guys suggest we do here? Because it's happening everywhere. It's no more just Gary. Okay? It's happening in Chicago every weekend. We're not talking 5 shootings. We're not talking 10 shootings. 30, 33. And all these that I just mentioned in 7 hours. Devil's wreaking havoc. He's having a grand old time. And if you want to be joining his party, you go right ahead. But I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to fight it back. You know that saying, kill him with kindness? Start praying and saying, I love you. May God bless you and have mercy on you. Because there's 2 sides, 2 families that are hurting. The person that lost their loved one to that gang, and the person that gangster shot and killed. And I know we have a lot of young parents out there that are trying to be parents while they're trying to also be kids. These 19, 20, 25-year-olds that don't know how to raise a child. Don't add to it by being one more statistic out there. You see how they're pointing our fingers and saying, we don't want you here. You're a gangbanger. You're no good. You're suspending our kids. You're expelling our kids. Is that the answer? Heck no. Or as they say, H-E-double-L, hockey sticks, no. This is serious. More so than you think, than you read it on the paper. You got to see it here to know it and to feel it. And when my mother told me, Eve, there was police activity on our block. They had found a gun next door to our house. What? You know, we have to take over our own community. We have to, if we are in that neighborhood, we have to watch that neighborhood. I see kids and I feel bad for them because there's not a parent in the house and they're waving by the window. Hi! I don't blame the kids. I blame who brought them to this world. But we have to get them early. It's a shame. Kindergarten. There's bullying. In kindergarten. It's a shame. 219-885-1371. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. So we're going to go for a commercial first, or do you want to take the call? Okay, we'll take this call right now, and then we got to go for a quick commercials. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Oh, they hung up? Okay. If you want to call right back, you got a minute, call back, 219-885-1371. That's 219-885-1371. The earth is moving, people. And when I say the earth, I'm talking about us, people. But we're moving in the wrong direction. Do you agree? Disagree? Got something to say? Sound off. Hey, if you want to call me and tell me I'm just whatever, go for it if that's what makes you feel good. But in reality, what you're doing is you're just shortening your blessings. You're blocking your blessings by doing that. I'm not holy. I'm not religious. I'm not perfect. And I don't claim to be. But I put it out there like it is. And what I hear about the mothers crying out for justice, I had to say in this conversation that I had this morning, and shout out to the Taurus, where are the fathers? I keep hearing mothers cry about fathers. Where are they? I'm not going to let them off the hook, because it takes two to have children. Unless it's by the grace of God you have a child, like Mother Mary, Virgin Mary, and Jesus Christ. But I don't think it's happening in this world. So ask yourself, what can you do to make a difference? You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio, and we're gonna take that call real quick if you want, or just go ahead and put them on hold. Oh, okay, all right. Well, we'll be right back after this, so don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial.
Mommy, I have a toothache.
Honey, my tooth is loose.
If you've been looking for a dentist, you're in luck. Radcliffe Family Dental, located at 1901 Grant Street in Gary, provides dental care for the whole family. Starting now, Radcliffe will be taking new patients, and you could be one of them by calling 219-880-1430. That's 219-880-1430. Call for an appointment today. Dr. Radcliffe, a dentist with many years of experience, and her team will be glad to help put a smile on you. Get pearly white at Radcliffe Family Dental this year. Radcliffe Family Dental offers cleaning, teeth whitening, white or silver fillings, crowns and bridges, digital x-rays, complete dentures, implant crowns, extraction, and laughing gas if you need a pep in your step. Radcliffe Family Dental, your new dental home. Visit us at 1901 Grant Street in Gary or call 219-880-1430. Hours Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Closed Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We accept most insurance, including Medicaid and Calumet Township.
Everyone in Northwest Indiana has experienced life's unpredictability, from minor injuries to automobile accidents to managing chronic illness. At Methodist hospitals, our emergency departments are always open, always ready, with the most advanced care for illness, injury, and trauma. No Indiana hospital is better prepared to deliver quality emergency care for cardiac, stroke, and trauma. Our 20 board-certified emergency physicians, nurse trauma teams, and staff set the standard for critical care. Methodist Hospitals even trains many of the region's EMTs and helps train emergency doctors for Northwestern University at our North Lake campus. And we just expanded our South Lake campus emergency department in Maryville. Methodist Hospitals, Northwest Indiana's emergency room. Always open, always ready.
Arts Camp 2014. We're now enrolling for Arts Camp 2014, open to youth between the ages of 8 to 18. Camp attendees will enjoy 4 weeks of summer fun creating magnificent art. If you are an aspiring artist or know of an aspiring artist who wants to build up their artistic skill, then this is the camp for you. Arts Camp runs from June 16th through July 11th, Monday through Friday from 9:30 a.m. until 1 o'clock p.m. Aspiring artists will enjoy exciting hands-on activities like drawing, mosaics, tie-dyeing, and printmaking. All artistic levels are welcome. Register today at liveartstudio.org or call us at 219-884-2770. Live Art Studio is conveniently located at 4760 Broadway in Gary. To learn more about Arts Camp 2014 or our other programs, call us at 219-884-2770. We're Live Art Studio, where the arts come alive.
Taking care of your health is a fundamental part of life from an early age. If, despite your best efforts, you are suffering a disabling illness or injury and your doctor feels home health care is needed, consider Health Masters Home Health. Health Masters Home Health has provided services in Northwest Indiana since 1993. You will find the care provided by Health Masters Home Health is just what you've been looking for. Imagine a team of talented, compassionate professionals who can provide complex procedures such as infusion therapy, advanced wound care, ventilator care, health instructions, and more in the comfort of your home. Your doctor provides oversight of the care we plan for you. We accept most types of payments for our services, including Medicaid and more. We can assist you in determining if you qualify for home health care services. To learn more about our services, you can contact us by calling 219-762-0004 or visiting us at 3200 Willow Creek Road, Suite C, Portage, Indiana. 79th Street Barbecue is here in Gary, Indiana, and now open at 1101 Broadway in Gary. Van, owner of Gary's newest barbecue eatery, says, come and try our flavorful variety of hot wings, rib tips, turkey links, beef links, and pork links. You don't have to go all the way to 79th Street in Chicago to get good barbecue. We are here in Gary, bringing with us our reputation of smoking good Q. We are open Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. till 12 midnight, closed on Sunday. Some of our daily specials include 3-wing/tip combo for only $8.99 or try our delicious turkey drumstick for only $6. Come out and enjoy some delicious, tasty barbecue at 79th Street Barbecue, now located at 1101 Broadway in Gary, Indiana. Do you have a special event coming up? We cater to. Call us at 219-979-8980. That number again is 219-879-8980. 79th Street Barbecue in Gary, located at 1101 Broadway.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack.
I think that's what we need to say. Hit the road, Jack, and we don't want you no more, no more. And we're talking about the devil, the evil that everybody has inside when they're doing all this shooting. Tell them, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more. Just say, I rebuke all evil. Hello. Okay, I'm getting all spiritual here. I'm sorry. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio, 219-885-1371. See, it moves me when our children get hurt. Okay? And a lot of our youth are missing that conscience, that remorse. They no longer have remorse. You got 20-year-olds that have no heart anymore. Something happened in their lives to turn out that way. And I believe that if we start out with prayer and we show their love, that we have love for them, they may have a change of heart. They may have a change of mind. If you guys got some better solutions other than start out with prayer and do marches and protest and go in front of all these city halls and demand some protection. I mean, the feds are all coming to Chicago now because that's too much. They're out of control. We're inviting the marshals out here too. Come on. Let's be more proactive than reactive. I'll march. And all the media, they're so quick to hurry up and get the first story out there in their channels, whatever they are. I'm not going to promote them because they're not paying us. But they're so quick to want to put a negative thing out there. Let me hurry up, take this van, and report this right away. Why don't the same people that want to hurry up and report something negative, somebody shooting, somebody dying, somebody getting killed, and saying, let's make a deal, let's all come together and protest. Let's all pressure and demand for answers from the law enforcement. Why are they always telling these families, we're looking into the case, we're still working on it? Are you really working on it? Put the pressure act on them. Media folks, you guys, TV people, news reporters, put the pressure act on them. And not just want to cover a story. And pressure, you know, that's something, Toya, I don't know if you knew about this, but the Hammond Latina lady that got shot by her estranged husband, another one too, that just happened the beginning of the month. They were putting out there that the husband's unknown. They were going to cover his name, but they plastered the woman's name. Does it make sense?
No.
Who are you protecting? Because you're not protecting the person that lost her life, unfortunately. And I was told by a family friend of hers that the reporters are knocking down their doors, trying to get answers like that. Not giving the family a moment to breathe and find out what happened. Are we in a hurry to put a report out there without thinking we're hurting the family? It just happened. It's too soon. I was told they were literally knocking down her door, the family's door, to get answers. Reporters, get a checkup from the neck up. If that were to happen to you, would you allow someone to come into your door right now, and while you're all discombobulated, heartful, you don't know what happened, your heart is heavy, and you got a reporter there asking you what happened? You as a reporter yourself, put yourself in their shoes. Would you like someone wanting to talk to you? Right this minute, Toya, something happens to me and you're the reporter and you want to knock on my door. Would you want to be talking to somebody?
Absolutely not.
Is it? Wow. Ratings. It's all about ratings. It's all about let's see who gets the coverage first. Channel 2, 5, 7, whoever the heck is out there. You guys need to come together and also join us in this prayer, in this march, in this protest, and seek for answers for these families. You guys got the voice. You guys got the camera. You guys got that mic. Why don't you go down there and pound on their doors, on those politicians that you voted for, law enforcement, and find out why. Are they really looking into the story? Are they really looking in to solve it? I wonder. 219-885-1371. So let's change it into the positive world now. It's 42 minutes after the hour. The weather is going to get a little better, guys. I think. I hope. But you know what? Even if it doesn't, it's all right. It's okay. We're alive. We're here. We're breathing. Some of us barely, but we're still here. We got 55 in Aurora, 56 in Baltimore, Maryland, 58 Washington, partly sunny. 83 in Orlando, and sunny. 83 in Houston, partly sunny. Las Vegas, 75 degrees. Los Angeles, 70 degrees and sunny as well. Spain, Barcelona, 62 degrees, partly cloudy. And Celaya, Mexico, out there to my Mexican relatives out there, 86 degrees, nice. Toronto, mostly sunny. 48 degrees, it's a little cool. And here in GI, if I'm not seeing right, it's, wow. It's going to get colder, guys. It's 46 degrees currently right now, but the sun is shining so beautiful. It's going to drop to 40 degrees tonight, and it's going to maintain as much as we can see as this sun is shining so beautiful. So those of you that are viewing online can actually see the sunlight that shines through the back. You guys can probably see it clear. You know, sunshine, I draw my energy on the universe. The sun is always there. I don't care if it's pitch black. I know it's there. But we have to maintain it in our hearts, in our lives. And tomorrow, guys, we're going to have a little warm-up. 67 degrees, rather cloudy, breezy, and warmer with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm mainly later. And 46 degrees at night, rain and thunderstorm in the evening, considerably cloudiness. And let's see what we're going to get for Friday, guys. We're going to have 71 degrees, partly sunny and breezy. But it's going to drop 36 degrees, partly cloudy and chilly. This is pneumonia weather. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Eve, I got to thinking.
Yes, baby.
You know, there's so many people with so many talents in this community. The marches aren't doing anything. They don't accomplish anything. What we need to do at the end of March, we need to have a heaven and hell.
Yes.
I got a gazebo. I would rather my big screenhouse gazebo be heaven. Then we need a hell over there. where they could go and punch themselves. People that are angry and full of rage, they could punch a punching bag or do something evil.
Pillows, punching bags,
and see what would happen to them. Those that are critical thinkers that may be upset could go to heaven, and they can see when they make the right choice, something different would happen. We need to get dramatic with this.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, it's part of anger management as a skill.
That's what I'm talking about. We've got to show them to take the hostilities out on a punching bag,
something that does not die,
or something like that. Not on, because when you get through punching yourself out, you're tired, and maybe you've changed your mind about how you want to handle things.
Right, and hopefully maybe strike a chord and said, "What am I doing?
That's what I'm talking about. If you're beating up on that bag, you say, "Why am I beating up on this bag?" But at least the bag, and you might start laughing. So punch is something that is an innate object that, you know, that you know it'll be there. All you will have done is hurt your hands or something.
Well, that sounds like something that we need to teach.
That would be a good solution to get some of that rage out of them and get them to thinking differently. Well, this is stupid. What am I doing this for?
And that's part of a technique for teenagers, for young adolescents that have the anger management.
We need to do something dramatic. It's a lot of actors and actresses around here. Like I said, I got a great big screen house gazebo. I'll let that be heaven. Somebody else might have something that they can walk into, and that's hell, and they'll see all the bad things that they doing, and they say, "Well, I'd rather be in heaven than in hell."
Right. It's all about choice.
I thought about that. I better get off the phone, but
thank you, Miss Nadine. I appreciate that.
We got to do something.
Exactly. I appreciate
that.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Exactly. We do have to do something. And part of anger management, if you feel like you want to punch somebody, grab a pillow, grab your mattress, grab something other than a child or your spouse or your friend, your sibling. Don't let the anger out on them. And if it's gotten to that point, then you need to leave. Don't force yourself to stay in a relationship. I've seen teenagers already going through it. Violence, disrespect, anger. Already in relationships at 16, 17, 18-year-old. High school kids coming home or going to school with bruises, with cuts. You know what? There's not one person important enough for me to cut my wrist for. I'm sorry. Okay? Our teenagers are going through this because they don't know how to relate to that pain that somebody left them, that they broke up. See, that's why kids shouldn't be dating. I'm sorry. Because they don't know how to react to it. Imagine grown folks. You see, I can't have you, so neither can he or neither can she. Boom, you're gone. Really? Get a grip on that. So we got to pray. I think that's the beginning of something. It's 48 minutes after the hour here on WLTH, and I was giving you some beautiful weather. April 26th, that's Saturday, partly sunny and breezy and cooler, 50 degrees on a high, 24 degrees, or at least 34, but it's going to feel like 24 at night, mainly clear and chilly, freezing temperature, and normally colder in some areas. And for Sunday, I hope we get a little warm up, 55 degrees, mostly cloudy and breezy with a chance of rain. And at night, it's going to be 43 degrees, but it's going to feel like 30 degrees, cloudy and breezy, occasional late night rain and drizzle. Sorry, guys, but I think winter does not want to go bye-bye, because this weather, the 30s, the 20s, is still winter to me. And we're going to get that on Monday, 59 degrees on a high, cloudy and breezy with a bit of rain, but at night it's going to drop more rain, 42 degrees, but it's going to feel like 30 degrees. And to me, the seesaw, 70 degrees in the morning, 30 degrees at night, that's pneumonia weather. You walk out and it's hot and you start taking your sweater off and then you leave yourself with a T-shirt on, and then 2 hours later you walk back out, oops, I wish I had my jacket on, because it drops. And there's a lot of kids being sick now. They got colds, they got flus, their body aches. What's this change of weather? So don't be too trusting in it. You know, don't be so quick to be wearing T-shirts and shorts because it's 60 degrees outside, all right? Because your body may not be well adjusted to it. So the weather, it is what's there. Let's make the best of it. Let's enjoy life. Today is here. I'm not going to worry about tomorrow. Many people say, oh, what are you doing this weekend? I don't know. I'm not there yet. Hey, if I'm alive, I'm well. That's a good thing. That's a great start. We can say, hey, we got this event going on. Well, hey, if I'm okay, I'll see you there. Well, hey, you know, I'll see. I'm not there yet. You know, the devil is wreaking havoc in education, in the community. And when we talk about education, I get messages about how public versus charter, how everybody is having their misperception of the vouchers, of, well, I shouldn't take my child out of public school, or I should take them out of public school. What should I do? So there's and I'm going to be brief because I have a few minutes left. How do, quote, bad parents affect schools? Is there such thing as a bad parent, or is it a misguided parent, that something happened in their childhood and they're reacting to it in their adulthood, and they never seek any type of mental therapy, psychological evaluation or anything like that, or any medication to kind of chill them down? I mean, is there such thing? Because to me, there's no such thing as a bad child. They call them baby kids, okay? They're not bad children. They're just not raised right. They're just in a bad environment. They're used to seeing what to them is the norm, called violence. They're used to seeing their parents shooting up drugs. To them, that's the norm because that's what they're around to daily. They're used to being around all this profanity, all this bad, vulgar language. To them, that's the norm because that's what they're used to every day. Take them out of that environment, including yourself, the one that's got the issues, the parent. Get yourself some help. There's a lot of 800 numbers you can get free help. So they're talking about charges of cream skimming is a favorite tactic used by some to scare away support for school choice. Skeptics say that should portable student-based funding be implemental, the most engaged families will rise to the top, the cream, and private schools will separate them from the rest. Thus, public schools will be left to serve only the more educational, lethargic families whom public schools advocates called, quote, bad parents. School choice supporters and researchers have questioned the validity of such claims, noting that charter public schools, open to all, must admit students randomly, while most private schools' choice programs are designed solely for disadvantaged families, as are many private schools. Thus, claims of cream skimming might be more demagogic than accurate. But let's say cream skimming did happen in the ways of critics of school choice imagine it does. Could that practice actually help not only those skimmed, but those left behind as well? In America's current private school choice climate, again in which only economically disadvantaged students are largely eligible, 23 out of 24 empirical studies have found that the health of public schools improves and competitive pressure from private schools. One study found no effect, notably the program analyzed when intentionally shielded from competition's healthy incentives. Point being, when students leave, whether they are the cream of the crop or not, their affected public schools gets better. And why might that be? Ignoring their backgrounds or abilities, students whose parents opt not to choose school choice programs were going to be in public school anyway, regardless of whether or not the school choice program exists. Now, however, those very students of presumably bad parents have more resources devoted to their education because the students who left took only a portion of their funding. Moreover, their teachers aren't distracted by students who clearly didn't want to be there in the first place. Look, whether there's vouchers, whether there's no vouchers, whether I am in the low-income bracket and I qualify for that voucher, what is going on now needs to be fixed. If we're so concerned about the funds moving away from public schools to any other school, because choice is the parent's choice, sorry, I want the best education for my children. I can't afford private school. Now that they're one in college and one in high school, they don't want to go to private school. They're fine where they're at. I'm not going to change their environment to say that I want to look better because they're going to Andrean or Bishop Knoll, and then I'm going to be all stuck up, like my daughter says, Ma, I don't want to go to Andrean because these kids are stuck up. Well, unfortunately, people do click in some of these schools. But it's our choice, ultimately. At the end of the day, it's what's best for our children. So we need to clean up our educational system in all these cities. It's not about you. It's about our children. It's not about you're not getting paid enough. What are you doing while you're being that teacher? Are you dedicated? Do you have a heart? Or are you there for a paycheck? There's training that's going to be going on in Hammond. Hopefully Chicago, I don't know what they're up to. They're redistricting and they're pulling kids from one area, closing schools there too. Hammond fired about 6 principals all at once. We're going to talk about that later in the future and hear it from the horse's mouth. We're going to have a superintendent come here, Dr. Watkins. Gary, they're also worried about the funds that now somebody else is going to be taking over. No, the funds are probably just going to be watched and looked at and controlled where we lost control with what we had. So these are the consequences of the choices that were made. Remember that for every choice, there's a consequence that follows. So what I ask all of you, because it's 55 minutes after the hour, join me in prayer, and before you make that choice, think about the consequence. Because for every choice, good, bad, or indifferent, there's a consequence that follows. So can you all do that? And let's think before we act. And let's be more proactive than reactive. Can we all do that? I think that's something that's simple that we can all start somewhere, right? So let's all join together and continue to live life, enjoy life, and be happy of what you have and not worry about what you don't have, okay? Because eventually what's going to come to you, it's going to come to you. Because the best is yet to come. You're listening to Sound Off here with E.V.E. on WLTH Radio. This is AM 1370, the region's choice, and you know that we are the voice and the best station in the nation here on WLTH Radio. Continue to laugh, live, and don't always frown. Give me a smile. You may give it to somebody that needs it. It could be saving their day. You just never know. You guys be blessed. Have a great evening. Until mañana, we'll be back. And continue to listen to WLTH Radio. Peace out.